we'll call to order the January meeting of the Fairport Municipal Commission. Could we get the roll call?
Commissioner Jordan?
Present.
Commissioner Stuckey?
Here.
Commissioner Keith? Okay. Commissioner Frisch? Here. Commissioner Schlaba?
Here.
Thank you. All right, welcome to our visitors, Ryan and Colin. Is there anything you would like to share with us? Okay. Thank you. Well, welcome. Yes.
Colin's our new meter tester. He started today, 7 o'clock, so he's got an hour in. He's doing very well so far. Comes with a little experience from National Grid on changing meters, testing meters. So he's a replacement for the gentleman that left after 45 years. So Ryan will do extensive training, and but yeah, Colin's first day.
Well, welcome and good luck as you get started. All right, moving on to unfinished business. Has everyone had a chance to review the meeting minutes from last month? Any comments or questions?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay.
Second.
All right. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, that passes. On to new business. We have a resolution authorizing municipal official to enter into an agreement with the New York State Department of Transportation.
So this is a resolution. These are typical when we do work in the right of way that we're going to be reimbursed. So the DOT is replacing the bridge. They call it a bridge. It's a culvert on over Thomas Creek here on North Main Street. We have a little relocation work. We provided an estimate to them. We've been working through that. They've accepted our estimate, and now this is the next part. We just need a resolution so I can sign the agreement so we can get paid. Most of the work's already actually done. We had a kind of opening in between things, so the guys are working on it right now, and hopefully we'll finish it up this week.
Okay.
But so it's pretty simple. Just need a resolution so I can sign so we can get paid.
Okay, so the financials are all worked out already, and
Correct.
okay, this is just the final.
Pretty small job. There was one pole that was in conflict. There was some underground street lighting conduit that was in conflict. Now we're actually doing some betterment work also, preparing for a streetscape while the road is open after canal days. We'll put conduits in both sides of the road in preparation for whatever happens in the future before they pave.
Okay, are they tearing the street out for that time?
There's a strip as they replace the culvert, maybe about 70 yards wide. We'll remove the pavement, dig down, move some, there's a water conflict, so they have some other utilities they have to work on also.
Are you guys aware of that project?
Yeah, when does the start date?
So the day after Canal Days, so June 3rd, and it literally shuts down that day, and it should last no longer than 120 days per their agreement. But to Matt's point, Main Street will be shut down the entire time. There should be pedestrian access on the east side of the road to some degree, but no vehicle traffic for basically the whole summer, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. If you notice, we've been on the front of that, putting stuff out on that issue. DOT has yet to do it. They wanted us to wait some time when everything was bid and let out and everything was confirmed, which is crazy. That probably would have been sometime in April or May, and I was like, it's just way too late for people to start planning for a whole Main Street to be down, and how do we work through that? So, nevertheless, that's what's going on, and obviously the utilities and everything have to be moved and so forth to make that happen as well. So, but the culvert is pretty in rough shape. It's time to have it done. So, yeah.
Is there any work through those buildings where it goes underneath?
The challenge that they're having, whether they get this vague 120 days, is just that the culvert's going to obviously, it's made out of concrete. It's going to be precast. Once they pull it out, they'll do some measurements and cast it and be able to just put it right back in. The issue is tying it to what is the shape of the existing culvert and tie-in that's really on the property owner to the east. How are they going to make that connection and make that work? Do they have something to core drill into to tie rebar? All these types of things that they just don't know yet when this thing was put in. That is their they're concerned or they're unknown right now to work through. So they think they know what's going on. They've done some investigation and got underneath the creek and walked it. But until you pull it out, you just don't know. So you know how it works.
When
So-
was the last time it was worked on?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm sure it's been there probably since its inception. It's probably 75 years old.
They made some small repairs. I mean, they did
Yeah.
used to inspect it, annually. You'd see the guys crawling under there and coming out the other end, but
Yeah.
it's been a while since they've done any
Main
major
Street's been
maintenance.
there forever, and so has Thomas Creek, and yeah, we haven't ripped up Main Street for that in at least 50 to 75 years. It's been there a long time. So
It's about time. Maybe we should have done it at the same time as the bridge. All right, could I have a motion to approve the resolution?
Second.
Thank you. Any more discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, that passes. Next up, we had a review of the windstorm or windstorms.
So we had a couple different windstorms. We had one last Tuesday, the 9th. Really was not bad during the day. It started blowing pretty good in the evening. We had a 52-mile-an-hour gust, and 50 miles an hour is usually kind of that threshold. If we stay under it, we can usually scrape by without any issues. Above 50, we're normally in doing something. So started coming in the evening. We did have 10 guys come in. We worked to about midnight, 12:30 in the morning to restore power to everybody. It was not huge outages, but it was just kind of slow and steady, so it kept everyone busy. So we did go home that night, and then the next day we started patrolling. We found, as you would expect in daylight, you find things that people didn't see, branches down their backyard or trees, on streets and things. So we kept busy all through that week, basically restoring things back to normal with minimal outages as we did the repairs. And then Friday, as you know, we had another low windstorm. Basically no issues Friday and Saturday at all. Sunday afternoon, with the wind direction back to the west, blew again at 53 miles an hour. So we did have a few issues, trees down on wires again. So we had half a dozen guys in on Sunday from mid-afternoon to early evening, just restoring things back to normal. We'll patrol again this week, but overall it was not bad. I know other utilities got hit a lot worse, but the low 50s is okay for us. But just anything 60 above is major damage. No broken poles. People understood when the wind blows for 3 days and the lights go out. People are more understanding than just a blue sky day. So guys did an incredible job as always. Couldn't have a better team, and just couldn't ask for a better team. Just did a tremendous job.
hard conditions too. Bristol and cold, lots of wind, can't see at night, no
Dark.
equipment.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
hard.
Yeah, it's you're in the
Brutal
dark.
cold.
In the backyards, you're walking backyards, you're hearing trees fall, and you don't know if it's landing on you or if it's landing down 2 houses down. You just don't know. You just hear them
Imagine how cold
cracking
that
and
was
then you
sitting
hear
out there for 6
the
hours.
thumps. It's dangerous, but the guys know their jobs, and we work in teams, and yeah. So
Yeah, I guess as somebody that lost power, incredibly grateful for the work that you guys did out there. I called, and the call staff was also pleasant and informative, and it was a great experience. So
good.
And also I was impressed at how bright the helmets are that everybody's wearing, and I'm surprised. I was also wondering how do you not blind each other with those helmets?
They're actually, they're facing down more than out, but,
Okay.
when you work in the backyard, I mean, what you see during the daylight, the fences or maybe other branches or whatever those issues are, dogs. It's amazing that, during these things, that people just open their back door still and just let their dogs out. You'll see 6 guys in the backyard working, and all of a sudden, we have a gigantic dog running up to us. It's little things. So light's important. I mean, the job is very dangerous. I mean, a lot of times we're doing things while it's still energized.
Yeah.
So you need it to be almost like daylight. I mean, luckily the battery options are amazing right now. I mean, the technology's come so far in the last 5 years. We used to work almost by candle, where now you can truly see at night.
Yeah.
So which is good.
Great.
Commissioner Jordan, I want to thank you for not calling me, even though the power's out in the neighborhood, because you're the only one that didn't call me in my neighborhood. I have a
Yeah,
canned,
could you
just telling
give me
Matt
your
the other
number,
day, I have a
Brian? I don't know if I have
canned,
your
I have a
number.
canned text message that I sent out to my, like, they think somehow, like, Brian, just want to let you know my power's out. I'm not. And I'm like, just here's the number if you feel like you want to call, but trust me, they already know, right? And it just
Yeah.
keeps coming all night long. But you're the only one that didn't call, so thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Well, great work, great preparation, and I'm glad everyone stayed safe.
Thank you.
Yeah, job well done.
Thank you.
All right, could we review the financials?
Good morning. We have the November final financial reports and then a one-page summary of the December financials. For the month of November, we had about a $250,000 loss in terms of revenue over expenses. The big expenses for the month of November included $60,000 paid for excavating services and conduit installation for 2 smaller projects, and then $115,000 for cable injections. Our cable injection company actually changed names through a purchaser. So that's now Southwire Company. So if you see that on the warrant, that is the big cable injection purchase. In terms of cash flow, we did have a small net increase for November of $17,000, but that is despite the large amount of expenses, and that's just a timing issue of when we're booking the expenses versus when the cash flow is coming in. We're still waiting on the 2 non-hybrid trucks from West Herv. Those are about $82,000 that will be received later this year. And at the end of November, we had about $100,000 outstanding for tree trimming. Most likely that will roll over to the new contract for Birchcrest. But that's the major items for November. In terms of December, we were a little bit down in our kilowatt hours sold compared to previous years. That's expected due to the weather. But we had similar cash balances, and we were able to write off that $30,000 that was approved for the aging receivables from last month. We actually did have one person that came back on the system in that period of time between when you approved it and when we wrote it off. So slight change of that, but it was about $50, so not a big deal. In terms of the cash flow for December, we had a decrease in cash of about $250,000. Most of that is related to our ERS payment. One time a year, we make a payment for the contributions for our employee retirement system. This year, we made that contribution. It's due December 15th, so we made it a couple days beforehand, but it was about $300,000, which is why you see that net decrease for December. Any questions or comments?
All right, thank you. Entertain a motion to approve the financial statement.
So moved.
A second. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, that passes. Next up, could we have a motion to authorize the payment of the vouchers?
So moved. Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right, next meeting, we have on here February 26th. Right.
That is right, Matt? We talked about that. I called him even because it was weird. People aren't around.
We have President's Week, that a lot of
Gotcha.
people are out, so we pushed it back 1 week.
All right.
So we're a little late in the month, but due to other conflicts. Okay. Sounds good. Any further discussion on any other topics?
I had
Yeah.
2 topics. We had talked about like a financial kind of deep dive. Is that like something?
I was just about to ask about that.
Oh.
Good.
I had sent you an email late last week. You might not have seen it.
Okay.
But to schedule something on that.
Okay, yeah.
So.
I'll,
Her and I will talk about that, and I asked if you guys are getting contact
I think, yeah, I'm locked out of my email again, so I'll not sure why that keeps happening.
I do. I don't think I saw that, though. I could be wrong.
I think you just probably sent it to Jeremy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Send it out to all people.
Yeah. Just see who's interested and, okay.
Okay, thank you.
Because, yeah, I'd be interested in that as well. So,
Okay. And the second thing I had was, and I don't know if we need to, like, discuss it now, if it's not a quick answer, but National Grid had a planned outage for like a full day a couple weeks ago, and, you know, understood our you know, we keep up on our maintenance and all that, but I guess my question would be, is there anything that would lead to Fairport Electric ever needing to, you know, have a planned outage like that to upgrade infrastructure? Like, is there anything on the horizon that you know about? And then second, is there anything that would lead to that we should be thinking about or getting in front of?
So what they had, you know, typically transmission lines can be fed in either direction. The line that they had, you have to inspect all facilities, be it distribution or transmission, at least every 5 years. During their routine inspection, they found 2 wooden structures that were in desperate need of some repair. You know, in the previous inspection within the 5 years, it had shown no damage. But when they did find it, needed immediate attention. They were trying to get to it before the windstorms that were coming. What happens typically, if you lose a tower like that, you kind of you don't lose just one tower, you may lose, you know, 2 or 3 in each direction, which would be a much longer duration outage. So, you know, no utility likes to take out power in the middle of the day. They did a lot of preparation, they did a lot of reach out, you know, to the customers, telling them, you know, so they prepped for it. I mean, they did bring crews and they had more than enough people, and they actually replaced 2 towers that day. You know, and usually that's probably a 3-day project where they did 2 of them in, you know, about 7 hours. Sure. So it's kind of amazing that they were able to do that. You know, with that said, you know, if we had to take a substation completely out, we have multiple feeds in, but if we had something that we had to take a substation offline, you know, today when we're below 20 degrees, would we have customers affected? Yes. You know, we'd have rolling blackouts, and we'd do the same thing. I mean, you do routine maintenance, you do your normal inspections, you know, you're prepared for these, but, you know, we cannot feed all of our customers from the other, you know, just one substation. You know, so it's just, there's a lot of workarounds. This was actually their absolute last resort for them to do that outage. You know, that affected over 7,000 customers. But, you know, unfortunately, until the transmission lines get upgraded and they get some redundancy built in, you know, it's, you know, will it happen again? It could. You know, I think they did a very good job of reaching out. You know, you saw it on every news channel, you saw it on every news feed. You know, people that signed up for the, received text messages, you know, on their apps, they were notified. You know, I think you even saw the towns and villages respond that, you know, they were happy with the response and the communication, you know, the updates they got during the day. So it does happen. You know, you know, would we have anything that big? I would, you know, we plan not to. We'd hope not to, but, you know, things do happen. You find emergency situations sometimes that you better react very quickly or it's going to be a much longer duration.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay,
okay.
thank you.
Well,
all right, any other discussion? All right, I think then we're ready for a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second?
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, we are adjourned.